Subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon and never miss an update from Latestly.
I know the interview has already started and my questions are already tumbling out. It's hard to put because it's an amalgamation of theater and film. So in that case, Tisca, how did you shift gears? Because at the end of the day, it's a film, but you have to convey the aspects of both film as well as theater. So how did you shift gears in that sense?
There was a lot of gear shifting that I had to do in the film, and honestly, there was actor director because I was going flipping from behind the camera to front and all of that. We were also very conscious of the fact when we were making Rubaru that it is. I've done a lot of theatre, so I understand that the acoustics of a space like a theatre are very different when the hall is full, when the hall is empty. How you hear the voices of actors behind the stage in the corridors. What filters in as sound for you when you're in the green room? How do you sense that the audience has come into the theatre? So there were these very specific sound ideas that we had, and we knew we needed a masterful sound designer. And I was fortunate that I had Vishwadeep Chatterjee, and I was very fortunate that I had Shisha Ray to handle the camera. So how he shot her on the steps is completely different from how he shot her on stage and in the green room and all the various spaces. So each space is in that sense a headspace. And we kind of kept that alive in our own heads. So that's sort of how it was planned like that.
Okay, so it's a short film. For those who are not initiated, it's a short film. It's a 17-minute. And क्या होता है जब आप कुछ open करते हो तो आप you want to know what exactly the project is all about, what the topic is. So I quickly checked what the film is all about, and the exact words there are. I mean, here's a story about an actress who overcomes insurmountable challenges to decide her fate or to decide her destiny. But it is much, much more than that. How would you define the film? How would you describe the film?
I think since it's my first as a director, I wanted to make something which was personal, heartfelt. And what better than to offer up a part of my own experiences in life. And so, you see this person who you've seen with false lashes, and you've seen her with a mask, and you've seen her with her accoutrement, everything in place. So you've seen me like that for close to 15, 18 years. And now I'm opening that up and showing you what might be happening inside. And so it's how you speak to actors and how they perceive it and how they process it and what effect that has on their psyche. The audiences have always had a voice, but actors don't ever reveal their innards as to how they eventually produce what you see and what you enjoy or diss. You could just as well turn around and say, "Well, it's a piece of crap, I don't care about that piece of work." What that does to somebody who's actually putting their life and limb out there. We talk about the show must go on. But what for anyone else other than the actors, if you talk about the show must go on, I'm talking about performers or musicians or people who are the face of the show. For them, it's a whole different ballgame. It's not just the show must go on that, okay, put on a bandage and go and make sure the show goes on. Your psychological, emotional being is called into play. So all of those realities is what I've tried to articulate or reveal through the film. Or make people experience our headspace.
So in that sense, the title of this film, Rubaru, is it about the actress knowing her own self, or is it the character knowing her true value, or it was a real life reference for you as well? Rubaru hona apne aap se bhi, in that sense, some facets of it perhaps?
All of the above. It is me coming Rubaru with my audience. It's Radha coming Rubaru with herself. It is Shama, the writer, and Radha becoming one and coming Rubaru with the ending of her life and starting another kind of life. So it is all of those Rubarus. And of course, very humbly, it's me, the director, coming Rubaru with everyone and saying, I've thought about it a great deal, but abhi aa hi jati hu samne.
Tisca, you have played so many roles. You have been wearing so many hats. I've been watching you since you were doing shows with Star TV. When I say as an anchor, then you were an actor. You were a quiz show master, and while wearing all these hats, suppose if acting is not working for you, and this is relevant to the line in this film, where you say "किसी और जहां में मुकम्मल हो जाऊंगी," when she's so desperate, helpless, absolutely hopeless. So, did these thoughts at any point in time in your professional life occur to you? Did they race through your mind? किसी और जहां में मुकम्मल हो जाऊंगी, in that sense, किसी और domain में मैं successful हो जाऊंगी?
I did go and try and apply for a job early on to work for there was an interview at the Taj Palace where I went and was interviewed for a job for uh, a computer startup firm. And they were very keen. They were like, yeah, I think you fit the bill. And I was like, I don't think I fit the bill. And I renewed my determination to give it one more go and one more go and one more go. And I am that eager little squirrel in that sense who will run around and do everything to make things happen. And so yes, Kisi Aur Jahan Mein Mukammal Ho Jaungi has crossed my head many times, and not so much in the past, maybe like quite a few years. But prior to that, yeah, sure, of course.
Hmm. And even you were saying this, that there are these visuals in your films where she's taking off her face eyelashes, she's touching her perhaps her sagging bosom. She is struggling to come to the to come struggling to come to terms with the fact, coming to the terms with the fact that she is not ready to accept and the reality of it, the age part of it. So in that sense, are you making strong commentary about the fact that too much attention or too much what should I say, significance is attributed to youth in this profession, especially in this profession?
Yeah, certainly that's one of the big reasons for putting those things in there in the film. Most film businesses in the world consume women or utilize women as eye candy. The pert, perky breasts and the peach bottom is synonymous with evoking libidos and eye candy. But my sense is that there is much more than the candiness of what you're looking at, because there are many other body parts to move other than just your loins. You can move people in other ways. You can move people with masterful performances, with taking you on emotional journeys that you never expected to be taken on, to see revealed to you parts of the human psyche that you perhaps never imagined you would be taken into. So those are the areas and those are the stories that interest me. And we did that in Chutney and we did that in Churi as well. And in Rubaru, it came like really up close and personal. In Chutney, the idea, I don't know if you've seen the film. Have
Which
you
one?
seen Chutney?
No, I'm not.
Chutney?
Chutney I've seen.
Okay. Yeah. So in Chutney, the whole idea again, I was calling out the idea of youth and beauty, because you're talking about a business that's obsessed with youth and beauty, and I was obsessed with it too. But with Chutney, I shook that off and I said it doesn't matter, and it became the most watched short film in the world. And I never got the kind of praise that I got with Chutney before that. Being younger and beautifuler, I got the accolades that I did, my first Filmfare Award with looking ugly as hell, and based on performance. So it gave me a sense that perhaps there is a gold mine somewhere out there which needs to be mined and which needs to be experienced by me and the audience alike together. We should share in this other part, which is also equally beautiful and enriching and perhaps longer lasting.
And as you were saying that, Pearl Bottom and Peachy Bosom, whatever the industry and most of the glamour
Other
world
way.
focus, other way around, they tend to focus on. But tell me, I mean, the wise man said that if at all, why everything revolves around body, and to this extent, and if it has to revolve around body per se, then why not focus on the most important part of the body, which is the brains, which is not the gray matter, which is the gray matter. So in that sense, how do you reconcile with that, with that notion?
Why do I have to reconcile with it? And I'm not sure I understand your question then.
No, in that sense, I mean, how important it is for you to convey to that. Do you try to change people's notion about it? Do you try to say on public platform as well as an actor in your capacity that, hey, hang on, this is not just about glamour and glitz?
I think I'm saying it through my work. I don't necessarily have to go out there and start making proclamations because I'm not a very proclaiming type person. I'm not one of those people who gets mad. I don't get mad, I get better. I start getting more, creating more opportunity to be able to tell my version of the truth. Sure, it's a version of the truth that Sex and Shah Rukh Khan sell. Sure, that is a version. But have you tried anything else? And have you tried molding yourself in a way that perhaps Shah Rukh himself might want to see it and say, that's interesting. That was fascinating. So he actually did see Chutney, and he spoke to me about it on stage when we were getting our Filmfare for it. And he was recommending it to everybody strongly. And so I think then Shah Rukh Khan will sell your story if that's how well it's crafted. And the central idea being that you take and put your soul, jokes apart, put soul into your story. And if there is that ring of truth, it will find its own audience. And I have experienced that both with Chutney and Shuri very differently. And I think Rubaru will, or is rather, finding its own audience in its own unique way. And it's affecting people, and they want to talk about it, and they want to discuss it, and they want to chat about it, and they want to say, well, have you seen this? Well, hold on a minute, have you seen this? And I enjoy that. I don't like to ride off of the back of a huge marketing blitz, because that's not how stories work. That's not how people get to affect people. It's when somebody says, I saw this, man, you have to see it. That's when it really starts working, and I enjoy that.
In this one, in the conclusion, there's this lady who walks up to you and she says, how do you do it? And in your response, you say, it's acting. But we know that the character is vulnerable. She says it quite confidently, perhaps brazenly, it's acting. But we know for sure that she has channelized that energy and that emotion, to decide her destiny. So how do you see, what is your interpretation of that line when she says boldly, it's acting?
So just a few seconds before she says that line, she's in the green room, and you've seen her at her most fragile, shivering and shaking with the emotion of what she's just gone through. And when she comes out, the mask is up again, and it's back to being who she is. And when perhaps she goes home and she settles in with herself one more time, is when she will think of the enormity of what she's done on that day to regain her confidence. So that's my way of saying that the mask slips on and off, on and off, on and off. And with consummate actors, you'll never know when it's a mask and when it's real. And I think that's the idea that we're trying to convey, that's the life, the dichotomous life of a performer. Here it's on, here it's off. You don't know where the mask has become you, where you've become the mask. And,
Tisca Chopra, thanks a lot for your time. Thanks for being who you are Whether the mask is on or off, we love you both ways. We love you. We love you irrespective of that. Thank you so much for your time. Thanks a lot for giving us a beautiful film that Rubaru is. All the best for your future.
Thank you. Thank you for your lovely words. They mean a lot to me. This is my first as director. So I'm going to savor these compliments and watch these videos later and enjoy them privately when my mask is off.
All the best. Always good with
Thank
words.
you.
Always. Bye-bye.
Thank you.